Hello students, welcome to the next class. In this particular session, we are going to look on problems based on patterns. So basically this session will be on a pattern printing tutorial. So like you already seen, there are some star patterns, some numbers patterns, some alphabetical patterns are there in your syllabus. So what is the way to print them and how you should make the logic for that. So let's say you need to print. Firstly, you need to print some patterns. The first pattern will be star pattern. Let's say this is the pattern, 5 columns and 4 rows. Let's say you need to print this pattern onto the screen, onto the output screen. So what do you have to do? In this case, for making this program, you can see there are two things. First is number of rows and second is number of columns. So the number of columns is total 5 columns are there and total 4 rows are there. That means one loop will run and iterate for rows and second loop for columns. So it is a nested loop. So for this we should make a program. So firstly we'll start from hash include stdio.h, that is standard input output library. Inside main function what we have to do is we need to declare two variables for two loops, two iterative variables, that is int I and j. I for outer for loop and j for inner for loop. Inside this, simply we need to print a square pattern of stars, let's say. So first loop will be the number of rows. Let's say the number of rows are 5. So for I equals to 0, I will go till less than 5 I plus plus. This is our outer for loop. Inside this loop there is another loop, that is for j equals to 0, j is less than number of columns is also 5, j is less than 5 and j plus plus. Inside this what we need to do is, using printf, we are simply printing a star. Right now we are simply printing the star. Let's say what is the pattern. If we are not adding anything to this code, what will be the pattern? We're just saving it and just let's say save it and let's run it and let's see what is the pattern right now. Is there something missing? There has to be something missing in the code because we have not added the next line. So what will happen if we are not adding the next line in the code? So let's say we are running this file, gcc file name is pattern.c -o. Let's say I'm giving the name for executable file as p ./p. So as we are not adding any next line statement inside the loop, inside the body of loop, so what is happening over here is you can see the number of stars has been printed, but it is not in the form of pattern. It is just a single line. But if you count these stars, so these stars will be, the count of these stars will be same as the pattern we are going to print. So what is missing over here? One thing that is missing over here is the next line statement. So after coming out this inside, for let's say this is our loop for the rows. This is the loop for the inner side. Let's say after coming out from this loop, we need to printf the next line statement. After coming out from this loop, we need to print the next line statement, and if we save it and let's run it again inside the terminal, open in terminal. So file name is gcc file name is pattern.c -o and p for executable file ./p. So as you can see, the pattern is over here and it is perfectly a pattern that we are planning to print. So it is exactly to that match. Now what if we want to print numbers like 1 2 3 4, yeah, let's say 1 2 3 4 or 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2, like that? How to print that? Let's say we are talking about we need to print something like this. Firstly we will print 1 1 1 1 3 4 5. How to print this pattern? So suppose there is something we need to change, and what we need to change is, you can see when we are in the first row all the numbers are as 1, so we are just printing the count of rows. Here it is 2, here it is 3, fourth row number 4 is getting printed, fifth row number 5 is getting printed again and again. So simply we need to change the star from %d and I, variable I, and for this we need to start I from 1, and it will go up to less than equal to 5. Let's save it, delete this thing, save it, and let's run it again. Open in terminal. GCC file name is pattern.c-o and p./p. So now you can see a pattern of numbers has been printed. Certain pattern in which first row is of 1, second row is of 2, third row is of 3, fourth row is of 4, fifth row is of 5. So this pattern is printed. Now again, if you want to print another pattern of numbers as well, of something like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, something like this, like numbers, we need to give the proper spacing also. So just instead of printing I over here, we need a certain count variable, or let's say we are requiring a variable. Let's say a is the variable name, initialized with 1, and simply we are not interested in printing I anymore. We are simply printing the variable a, the value of a, and after it is getting printed we are increasing it by 1, a plus plus. Simply do this and let's check what happens. Let's check. Open in terminal. GCC file name is pattern.c-o and p./p. Now you can see it has been printed, but some spaces are not getting in a proper way because of numbers size has been increased 10 to 11. It is requiring more space on the output screen. For this, a simple solution is you can go and give another proper space over here, so it will look more beautiful in the output screen. Run it. Open in terminal. GCC file name is pattern.c-o and p./p. So because of these values, you can see the numbers has been changed. Because of 2-digit numbers, it is not properly getting printed. So instead of this, we can start from 10 as well. We can start from 10, and let's say A's value is 10. It will be printed just the way we want it. Remove the space from here and it will be exactly in that region as we want to print. Now go to the files again, open it in terminal. GCC file name is pattern.c-o and p./p. Now you can see when all the numbers, all the digits are in single digits, so it is printed in the way we want it. So this is how you print first pattern of this session. Now what if you want to print something like a triangle of stars? Let's say this is 1 2 3 4, a right angle triangle. Let's say you want to print this. So in this you can see, let's first remove this variable. We are not requiring this anymore because it is simply a star pattern. Remove it from here. Simply use star. Remove it also. Now you can see when we are in the first row, a single star getting printed. When we are in the second row, 2 stars are getting printed. When we are in the third row, 3 stars are getting printed. So the number of stars are same as the number of rows. So for that, we simply need to change the values inside our for loop. I will start from 1, no doubt. J will start from 0, no doubt, but J will go up to the value of I. Now J will go up to the value of I, and again, let's say it is starting from 0, so we can also start it from 0 as well, less than 5, less than 5. J is equals to 0, J is less than equal to, open in terminal, gcc file name is pattern.c-o and p /p. So you can see the pattern of right angle triangle is here, and if you want to change it in the form of numbers, you can change it. Change this from the star from the value of a counter variable. Let's say we have taken a variable a equals to 10, for example, and simply we are printing %d, give a space 2, and the value of a. After this, what we are doing, a plus plus, save it, and let's run it in the files in terminal. Again, open in terminal, gcc file name is pattern.c-o and p /p. Now you can see a right angle triangle of numbers has been printed. So this is second pattern of the right angle triangle. Now again, another pattern you can print. Now what if you want to print opposite, the upside down right angle triangle? The upside down means something like this, upside down right angle triangle. What if you want to print this? So in this case, what you have to do is you need to find something relatable in this. For example, when the number of row is 1, that means that we are in the first row. That means 5 stars are getting printed. When we are in the last row, only 1 star is getting printed. So it is just opposite of what we just did. It is just opposite of that. So what we need to change over here is, first change it. Let's make it a star. Let's make it a star again. Remove this here. Remove this from here. And again, what we need to change over here, I is starting from 0 going up to less than 5, no doubt, but in this case, for upside down triangle, J will start from 5 and J will go till J is greater than equals to I and J plus plus. Save it and run it. Open in terminal, gcc file name is pattern.c-o and p /p. Okay, something is missing over here. Close the terminal. What we forgot is here J minus minus. Okay, we forgot where to change that. So J will start from 5. J will go up till a point when it is greater than equal to I, and every iteration J will go by decreasing by 1. J will decrease by 1. J minus minus. Again, open in terminal, gcc file name is pattern.c-op /p. Now you can see a triangle has been printed that is upside down. Again, if you want to change it in the form of numbers, you can change it using a counter variable. Next, another pattern, if you want to print, now you want to print again a right angle triangle, but that triangle is different from this triangle. Let's say that triangle will be something like this. Something like this. A right angle triangle, but from the right side. What we just did is the right angle triangle from the left side, but in this case, a right angle triangle, but in the right side, aligned in the right side. So what changes we need to do? In this case, you can see a star as well a space we need to print. So again, in this way, when we are in the first row, 4 spaces are getting printed. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and lastly we have the star. When we are in the second row, 2 stars and 3 spaces. In third row, 3 stars and 2 spaces. In fourth row, 4 star and 1 space. And the last, 5 stars, 0 spaces. So we need to print a star as well as a space also. So what we need to change over here? Firstly, there are 2 loops, no doubt there will be 2 loops. But in this case, I will start from 5 because of the spaces we need to print. I will start from 5. I will go up to a point when it is greater than equal to 1, greater than equal to 1, and every iteration I will decrease by 1. In the second loop, that is inner for loop, j will start from the value of I. J will go up to a point when it is greater than equal to I, and every iteration j will decrease by 1. In this case, instead of printing a star, we are printing a space. For this, we are requiring another loop, that is inner for loop, that is not nested to second loop, that is j's loop. It is a loop for k, and we need to declare this variable as well, that is k. For k equals to 5, for k equals to 5, k is greater than equal to I, k is greater than equal to I, and k minus minus, k minus minus. Inside this body of loop, what we are printing is printf percentage, not percentage d, just we are printing the star, so simply print the star. So we are printing the star, and this body of loop has been closed. So why we are having 2 loops inside this loop? This loop is for the rows. This is for the rows printing the stars. This is for the stars, and this loop is for printing spaces. So for right angle triangle, you need to print a space as well as the star. That's why another separate loop for the space, another separate for loop for printing the star. Let's save this and run it. A point when it is greater than equal to 1. Let's save this and run it. GCC pattern dot c hyphen o p dot / p. Now you can see a right angle triangle aligned in the right side has been printed of stars. You can change it. Let's say for example, you need to print a pattern of stars, not the patterns of star, but you need to print the pattern of alphabets you need to print. For that, simply change from here to here. Take a variable of character type char ch equals to, let's say, char ch equals to capital A, and instead of printing this capital this percentage this star, simply print %c, give a space, and ch, and increase ch by 1, ch plus plus. Save it and let's run it. Go to the files, open in terminal, pattern dot gcc pattern dot c hyphen o and p dot / p. Now you can see ABCD in a form of parameter has been printed over here. So this is how you print a parameter of this alphabets. So this is the code to print a parameter of alphabets. So this is how you print. I assume this is enough for printing patterns. The patterns are remaining, so we'll see those patterns in the subsequent classes. So for now, thank you very much. Have a good day.